Hello guys, welcome back. Please excuse the post-bath here. Odin has been voted off the island. He's still trying to get back in, and he tries to use my good nature against me. He really does. He can play me like a violin, and I know it. If his tantrums don't work, he's helpless and alone and pitiful, and he will do whatever it takes to get what he wants. And Apollo finally had enough because Greek gods have been appearing in random stuff they probably shouldn't have for a lot of times. And remember, I had gotten rid of everything for the Greek gods, the pins, the stuff you have bookmarked and everything. Do you know all the Greek stuff reappeared? And one thing that reappeared was a article by a priest of Apollo, and I had gone on Pinterest, and the very first pin this one time I went on today was the Temple of Apollo. I looked to double check and they hadn't marked it, but I'm like, that's the Temple of Apollo. I should know. I've looked at it enough, I've seen enough videos and everything. I'm like, that's Apollo's temple. I think it was the one at Delphi, don't um well, I'm like, I know that's Apollo's temple because there's just something about his temple you kind of know. It's the way the structure's built. Temple of Dionysus, unless they've done strategic cropping. It's kind of hard to miss his temple. Hermes didn't have one, so forth and so on. So, it's kind of usually a thing now that I'm like, Apollo's had enough. And I was surprised because Apollo, if he was dealing with me, and I had been as obstinate and stubborn and terrible as Odin has been, Apollo would be like, fine, go do as you will. I'm not going to stop you. But he finally had enough. And Dionysus had enough. And it feels like I had read my horoscope this week and talked about Hades would be pushing through and pushing you through stuff. They said Pluto, but they said, well, it's to the person that makes these horoscopes, it would be Hades. And he has also had enough. And the Greek gods don't hold it against me because as Dionysus keeps reassuring me, he says, sweetheart, we're never going to give you humans a level playing field. It's okay. This is not your fault. He plays against your kind nature. You're a kind, loving, gentle, healing person. He's always going to play that against you, and you're always going to fall for it. You're like Jesus the Second. It's so sweet and endearing. And it's mild sarcasm, but he means well. Dionysus can actually be in some ways scarier than Odin, but he's very loving and kind too. He's very gentle too, and he's happy because his sofa is now to Dionysus appeal. And Athena seems happy because Odin is gone. Apollo is very happy, and the thing is, Apollo would still make friends. Odin is the one that he's like the boy child king. I haven't really watched Game of Thrones, but from what I've seen of that little shit, I would shoot him. And I heard laughter back here. Um, he is just a little bratty king, and he will throw a tantrum and fall on it with me. Everybody else gets this noble god, this majestic god or something, or they're doing crazy stuff, and I'm like, no, get the hell away from me. No. So the Greek gods are happy, and the Greek gods are here, and the Norse gods are here. All the gods are here, and Dionysus is like, you're my human now. You're my human. We're not going to do any crazy rituals or anything else. I said, he'll keep trying to come in and all this other stuff. And he goes, oh, I'm all well aware of, the tricks he's going to try to play. But he said, they will keep him out for a while. And they said, he probably won't learn. He probably won't learn. He's being too self-centered. And he said, the family will take care of you, meaning all the gods all together, not just the Greek gods, the Norse gods, all the other gods. I think Placenta just popped in now. I got this idea, like, she's blinking like she has jet lag, like, Mia? Baby, a lot of your stuff is gone. I'm so sorry. I got, like, she won't care. And Dionysus was reassuring me. He's like, gods do not care about stuff. The gods don't care about stuff. Odin tried a power play. He tried getting rid of all their stuff, like Lasanta's poster. that I had to order from Mexico, by the way, and some of her statues and that, but she didn't like those anyway, so she's actually kind of happy she got her way. It was all the stuff that she didn't like, so I don't know if Odin knew that or he just played into her hands, and she's back there like, because remember, she's literally deaf, and you don't mess with love, Regina, so she's like back here. So, she's here. And the Greek gods are here and the Norse gods are here. It's like as soon as Odin threw another tantrum and left, all the gods just rushed back in. And I do, to a point, feel sympathetic for him. But, it's one of those lessons that we all have that one god that's kind of kryptonite to us where we might love them to the moon and back, but they're like the worst possible deity for us without meaning to be. Odin, in his own way, meant to help. He just pushed too damn hard and he tried to make me go against my nature. My nature is love all the gods. It's not like I stopped loving Odin. I love him very much. But the others have pointed out, they're like, he manipulates you and you let him get away with it. You have this weakness. Uh-oh. It's like as I'm talking to you, all the family, I know it sounds psychotic when I'm saying it, but it's like all the family's coming in and I'm like, parents, like, damn full child. And no, that was Puff the Leg, but it's like, damn full stupid child. And it's funny because all the stuff he got rid of is all the shit they wanted out of this house anyways, or they didn't want it in the first place, like Baron Samedi. I had gotten him the skeleton years ago, and actually it was for Love Regina. She didn't want it. He was originally supposed to get one because he was here first. He would never let me get one. I tried to get for Love Regina, she wouldn't let me get one, and I used to have this bad habit of getting them stuff anyhow. Well, it's out in the garage now. It might go out for Halloween, like Halloween Day, and like if somebody steals it, good, it'll be gone because none of them want it. And Odin kind of, in Odin's own backwards way, got done what all the other gods wanted done for themselves. So he actually helped them out, and he kind of helped himself out the door because they've like all voted him off the island. Apollo is kind of mad, but on my behalf, it's kind of like they're all kind of mad, not at me, but they're mad on my behalf, and they're kind of, I feel like they're assessing like what's the situation, just exactly how much damage did he do, because you will get that one deity. I think we all get that one deity that's like kryptonite to us, where they're not good for us. They might be the most wonderful deity for other people, but they're really not good for us. So it's a good thing I didn't get that statue. I think Odin does mean well, but I think, I don't know. There's just this thing that he may be trying to help and it always comes out the worst possible way. And I appreciate all the good he did. I do. Like, he sacrificed getting a statue, but then again, he didn't want that statue. He didn't like that statue, so it's like he helped and he loved me, but at the same time, he would just keep making these promises and he would never fulfill them, and it's just, he was kind of stringing me along. So the other gods are here, and I know they want to bring Hermes back in. And he and I would get along really well, and then we had a fight one day, and it was so epically bad. I went to, even though I'm like on the fence about possession, I went to the temple of Hermes and I talked to the priestess, and she's like, well, and I know, like, I was like, I am relieved all the gods are back, but I'm like, oh Lord, this means Poseidon's back, and we all know how much trouble I have with Poseidon. But I think we're kind of agreeing that for right now, at least, I don't have to see every god in the world, even though Apollo's very happily to say, Hestia missed you. Guess who else missed you? Even Dad missed you, and he doesn't miss anyone. And Apollo's been having fun. And Apollo has pointed out, he said, well, he might have taught you to use a spear, but I taught you to use a bow, and that has a longer range. Remember, Apollo's the god of healing, but he's also the god of plague arrows, and don't piss him off and don't diss his family, or your children may disappear. Loki's like, I like him already. Oh my god. Loki. Loki's what? So, it's good. It feels good. It does feel like somebody's missing, but Odin's the only deity I know that won't get along with the international household of awesome. Everyone else will. Whoever God is, God will, the gods will, the goddesses will, the spirits will, the Loa will. Everyone except Loki. Even like the little nanimals out in nature are coming by with like little nanimal messages. You know how like if you tune in, the animals can give you message. Like ant brought me a message today, and birds will bring me message. Nighthawk brought me a message today, and it's like the nature and everything will talk to you endlessly. Odin's the only one that doesn't want to get on board with all that, and I don't know. He's a toddler. I'm starting to think that, the stories were rewritten by someone that was pro Odin, and I get the idea of like Loki just having Odin, toddler Odin, going, and a carrier on his back and just looking like, I know I love children, but really this one I could drop him down a well. And King giggles back here. So, yeah, it's good. But Odin brought it on himself. I love him to the moon and back, but he just tried to make something out of me that he couldn't. And, if he had stopped where he was, an all Norse household, and I'd been able to work with Frey and Freyr and everyone else, and Jord and everyone else, fine, but he was getting all the other gods away from me too. So he sunk his own battleship. He's his own worst enemy. And it's like, you know what? I love him, but he's a manipulative sneak with me. He's gotten more and more erratic and worse lately. It's like when I can trust Hermes not to do something compared to you, I sense this amused energy. That's bad because Hermes and I would really go at it because we would have these differences of opinions. Yeah, if you're Gemini, think twice about working with him because despite what you hear about Mercury and Geminis, we can go at a hammer and tongs, maybe because we're too much alike and we have too many of the same ideas in our little foxy heads. But, we will work on that and we will work getting on along as a family and we will work at celebrating whatever holidays we want to. Last night, this explains why I had this confused moment with Odin last night. Leonard Nimoy had done a thing and he's passed. I didn't realize that. I'd known, but stroke. I get to remember new stuff every day. They had done this beautiful music, this Jewish, tabernacle music of. I've heard it before. I think it's. I don't think it's for Rosh Hanukkah. I forget for when it's for, but it's this beautiful music and it's about the creation of the world. And I've heard this music so often because I grew up listening to this kind of music. Even though I was Catholic, I like to go to the old Jewish traditions and learn that too. That I was like kind of like singing along and bopping along to it, and I thought Odin was really happy because I remember the lyrics. I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I can remember 30-year-old lyrics I haven't heard in decades that are in Hebrew because my brain. And it wasn't Odin that was happy, it was Apollo. Apollo was like, she remembers, she remembers the music. Oh, my baby, I'm so proud. So it was Apollo's happiness and pride I found coming through, and Dionysus, and I sing like a cat dipped in holy water, but you know, it doesn't sound good. It's like trying to baptize a cat. It's those kind of sounds that come out of me. But Dionysus was like, how beautiful. Look, he's back there giggling. I know I can't sing. I know. But they were happy. And they don't care. If you're going to praise a god, praise a god. They really don't care. Odin's the only one that's a territorial prick about things. And I'm like, it's funny. Odin's the one that will tell you every other god will do that. And he's the one that ended up doing it. And he's the one that ended up throwing himself out of the house because Odin, he's that damn talented. So it was really healing and Dionysus has been like, you go ahead, you go worship Jesus, you talk to whoever you want, and he knows, like, I've studied so much. There were people that believe in Jesus, there were people that don't believe in Jesus. There are people who believe Jesus never existed. There are people who believe he existed, but he's not divine. And he's like, you've got all eternity to figure this stuff out, but, while you are figuring stuff out, you have a safe space. Nobody's going to demand stuff of you, or they're going to have to deal with Dionysus. And he's already died like at least 3 times that we know of. So he's not the particular deity to pick a fight with, because he will just keep coming back and coming after you. He's extremely relentless. He's not an enemy you want to make. He really isn't. But he's also a sweetheart, and he's very tender and nurturing and loving, and he had enough. Apollo was actually, I think, the one that lost his temper the first. So it's good. I have the family back together, and this was really truly what I wanted. So see, manifesting kind of works. This is really what I wanted. And Odin kind of brought it about, but just being Odin and getting himself yeeted out of the house. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. I'm sorry if you work with Odin that it ended this way for Odin. I really am, but we know from experience, and you guys know that have been with the channel, Odin will just destroy the whole family over and over and over again. He doesn't care about anybody but himself for some reason with me, with other people. He's meeting all the gods and loving all the gods, but with me, he's a royal toolkit. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I love you, but you have to go. You can't keep hurting the family like this. If you can ever get it back together and truly come in and truly integrate into the part of the family, I think you can. I think he can't take that we kind of have a round table thing going on where no god's really more important than anyone else. Except for Loki, he's just a little more equal than everyone else. They're giggling back here, they don't care. Loki's my favorite. He gets away with everything, and they know it. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.